wrote to me yesterday and said, Nick, you don't have enough American cars on your channel. Ah, here we are, in an American car, a Corvette. America's sports car since 1953, I think. Yes, not just any Corvette either, this is the Z06, the terrifying one. Whew. Yes, this is more car than I can handle, no question about it. Actually, the first Corvette I ever drove was all the way back in 1990, I think, or 91, when I was a teenager. And that experience had a profound effect on me. I'd never driven a car with so much torque before, and I was just blown away by it. Well, that car had like 350 foot-pounds of torque. This car has 650 foot-pounds of torque. This thing is terrifying. And I'm not kidding when I say driving this beast makes me a little nervous. It really does. My hands are kind of clammy. I know, I normally have pretty clammy hands. And it's so different to driving my car. You think, this is a manual transmission sports car, mine's a manual transmission sports car. There'd be a lot of similarities. There are no similarities. This car sounds different, drives different, the gearbox is different, the clutch is different, the delivery of power obviously is completely different. Everything about this Corvette is what I would describe as raw. So where do we start? I guess we start with the most important thing, the engine, which is just a wild animal. It makes this terrifying noise every time I put my foot down. The delivery of power and the sound it makes, obviously entirely different than my Porsche 911. Yeah, it steps out in pretty much any gear. It's just so much torque. It takes a lot of getting used to. This of course has the 7-speed manual transmission. The throws are tiny. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's just a few centimeters that you move this gear stick between the gears. I thought the gears on the 911 were nice short throws, but nothing like this. And of course this has got the rev matching feature. You turn the rev matching feature on with the paddles that you'd normally use to change the gears in the automatic gearbox. That's how you turn the rev matching on and off. And it works much the same as the rev matching in my car. Makes it sound like you know what you're doing. And the clutch is a nice light clutch for such a powerful car. And it's pretty easy to find the gears. I'll demonstrate. Here we are on second. Third. Fourth. I have trouble talking and doing this video and driving this car. The next thing that hit me was how poor the visibility is in a Corvette. Maybe it's just my seat, although I've got it pretty much down as far as it will go. But yeah, it's a lot harder to see out of the cabin than in other cars. It's fine straight ahead and obviously to my left, but the rest of it's pretty difficult. There's just a little gap in the back. It's a bit like driving a Ferrari in here. And what's always been incredible about Corvettes is your bang for the buck, how much performance you get for the money you pay. And that's never been more true than this latest generation. You know, this Z06 I think is around 85,000 compared to my Porsche 911, which is about 130,000. And this is just going to kick my Porsche's ass backwards and forwards and up and down the road. It is an incredible piece of performance. I'm going to ask Ed to try and keep up. Okay, I'm going to do an acceleration, just try and keep up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Yeah, put your foot down for a second and this thing's doing over 100 miles an hour. Less than 3 seconds, 0 to 60. Yeah, it drives like it's all engine, you know, the engine is the dominant feature of this car. Although I'll say everything else has improved. You know, I like what they've done with the digital dash. It's easy to read, and the way that the cabin curves around the driver. The seats are okay. You know, he's got the upper bucket seats in this car, and they're nice and firm around your midpoint. But there's not a lot of grip on the actual butt part of your seat. So since we've got this crazy Corvette here today. We might as well do a quick drag race against my car. I'm not holding out a lot of hope for my poor little Porsche 911 and its 420 horsepower. Who knows? Maybe the gods of speed will be on my side this time and I might for once win a drag race. But it seems extremely unlikely. Something very bad has to go wrong for me to win this drag race. So I'm back here in the 911, preparing for the short drag race we're going to do. It's so civilized here in the 911. It's so quiet, so gutless. There's no power in this car. Yeah, it's a totally different experience. Like the gearbox feels like a long throw from the 1950s. Yeah, obviously this is the car that I'm used to, so I feel more at home here, but yeah, what a different experience. And yeah, the visibility is just so much better in the 911 than in the Corvette. But of course, yeah, this thing feels sluggish, slow, gutless in comparison to that monster of a machine. All set? 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know what happened there. I was keeping up with him. He must have lost traction or something. I mean, he got me in the end, but for a moment there I was keeping up, which is, there's no way. That thing is so much more powerful than my car. He's behind us, he's behind us. Okay, so we're being dogged by a cop, so we've decided to call drag racing quits for the day, which is a shame because we never really got a good start and never really showed just how much faster that Corvette is.
Say what's up, Nick.
What's up, Al?
Hey, how you guys doing?
So this is Al. He's the owner of this insane streak of Red Death. How long you had it for?
I picked it up on July 1st.
Oh, and you've only done like 1,000 miles in it or so.
Got 1,000 miles on it right now.
Yeah. So we just went out for a very short drag race, and unfortunately, even though we're in Mexico, we got interrupted by a Connecticut state policeman.
In Mexico.
In Mexico, that's right.
The federales, I think they were called.
Yeah. So interestingly, I was sticking with you for the first pull.
Yes.
You were just having trouble getting traction down.
A little bit. And then once it caught it,
bang, yeah. I mean, this thing is insane compared to my car.
Yeah.
I get back into the 911 and it feels like a Toyota Corolla all of a sudden. But you were driving the 911.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? It's just
my impression is it's super comfortable to drive, super easy. The power is there, but it's more high end.
Yeah.
It's not, the torque isn't as much as this, but that's expected when 650 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, let's have a quick look around this car while I've got you here.
All right.
So the options that you got the
2LZ package.
2LZ package. And what does that really get you?
You get the extended color combination, whatever you choose. If you choose a different if you chose a red interior, you get the correct, and then the 3LZ, you get the whole the color coming up through the door and that passenger side.
And what about on the outside? These are the grey wheels?
Yeah, it's the Spectra grey wheels, machine lip on the front, and then you get the carbon ceramic brakes here.
And they're 335s.
335s.
Just when you think the 305s on the 911 are wide, you got to check these monsters out.
So then you get the upgraded rear wing on the 2LZ. The 1LZ would be just the same level as here, end here, and then the 2LZ and the 3LZ, you get the bigger wing.
Right.
The 2018 model, I believe it's the full rocker side panel. Before it used to be a 3/4 side skirt, and now you get the full length side skirt.
And do you have a lot of trouble with scraping on the front?
Yeah, certain spots. If you see on the other side, it's already pretty scraped here already.
I see, yeah, it's pretty low.
Pretty low. And then
there's cameras everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah, it's the front curb cameras. you could choose. There's a button you could view the front. So when you pull up a parking spot, you can see the concrete barriers to help you guide you in that way.
All right, let's jump inside.
Sure.
Actually, let's have a look at the engine. The mighty LT4.
Yes. Little supercharger and on top.
Yeah, you know, it's got enough power to get to church and back on a Sunday. Yeah.
And I owe Mr. David Pohl this some gratitude for building this engine.
Ah, he's the man that built it. Yeah.
Yes, hand-built engine. So I think I'm leaving it the way it is.
Surprising, there's still room, a little bit of room here and there.
Yes.
For the day when you stick a turbocharger on it as well. Yeah, you know.
I think Mr. Cletus McFarland's channel has.
Oh yeah, he does.
He has the turbos in there.
Yeah, that guy is crazy.
Yeah, he does it for Dale.
He does everything for Dale. So the scoop pulling air out actually works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then for the 2018, the Z06 comes with this the logo on the engine cover.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's jump inside.
Yes. When I first felt the power, I was like, wow, this is completely different. Yeah. Especially comparing driving my friend's M3, the power levels are completely on a different level.
Yeah.
In case they didn't know it, they show you right here.
Yes, I see. Yeah, just in case you've forgotten what you're in, the numbers are right there. And so what made you decide to go for the manual?
Well, it's a sports car. I think that's the proper transmission for a sports car.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, the transmission is entirely different than the 7-speed manual in the Porsche, isn't it?
Correct. It's completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
This is just such a short, notchy throw.
Yeah.
It's something else. Although I had no trouble with it. Like when I first got the 911, I actually stalled the car a few times.
Coming out of first gear?
Yeah, coming out of first gear, yeah. Whereas this car, no such problem. Although I think because the engine's so large and torquey,
you tap a little.
Yeah, you're working pretty hard to stall this thing. And inside, we've got a lot of stitching, which I like. And this leather is upgradable, but it's pretty nice leather anyway, isn't it?
Yes. The 3LZ, you get the lap of leather, soft leather on the dash.
And the 3LZ is how much more?
If I'm not mistaken, about 7 to 8 grand.
That's a lot of money, isn't it? Yeah.
And then you also get the quilted headliner.
Oh, okay.
All this will be suede, like in your 911.
Yep.
And this will have this will be in Kalahari tan if you got the 3LZ with the diamond stitching.
Yep. So the word that I'd use to describe driving it is that it's a very raw driving experience. You know, everything is in your face. The noise, the power, everything just rushes at you.
And then you hear all the little pebbles from the tires picking up.
Oh yeah. So looking around the interior, this button here is how you open and close the door.
Correct.
Which is pretty cool. But it locks, doesn't it, as soon as you move forward. Shush, beeper.
It's telling you wear your seatbelt.
Oh yeah.
Even while you're parked.
And then you've got the buttons for the head-up display.
Heads-up display, yep. You could change a different view.
Oh yeah. I don't know whether you guys can see that, but you can move it up and down. That's pretty cool. And then there's a million bits of information you can have on the center screen, isn't there?
Yes.
Like at the moment, you've got the tire temperature, how much slip you've got on the LSD.
Yes. That's like almost overview of different things. Oil, water.
That's pretty
tire.
Cool.
G-forces. Yep. That's another G-force.
Oh, yeah.
You can actually time your 0 to 60. Lap time, coolant temperature.
Yeah, I had it on this horsepower while I was driving it. I never saw it get anywhere near the 650.
Yeah, I think I've reached maybe 325 to 400, and you're already
you're already doing
into Mexico.
Yeah. And how do you find the infotainment system? Pretty good.
The infotainment's pretty good for I was surprised at Chevy. They did a pretty good job. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And what is this?
Oh,
wow. So it's a little cubby hole behind there.
A little USB.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you plugged something into the USB,
Correct.
doesn't it just get cut off once you?
Well, I think most people put their cell phone, so when the Apple CarPlay would pop up on the projection.
Ah, that's cool.
And it charges your phone while it's inside there.
Yeah. And there's a dual climate as well, I noticed. You've got over here as well.
Passenger could control their own temperature.
Yep.
Your seat, heated and cool seats.
It's very un-Chevy-like.
I think Chevy and Ford and all the other companies are getting the picture that they need to give more to their customers to compete.
Totally. Yeah, because I've noticed that in all of the American cars lately have really started to step it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. So anything else you want to tell us about the car? Well, I've got you here.
It's one of those things where you gotta enjoy it, you know.
It's crazy, isn't it? I was like hands shaking a little bit after driving. Honest, this is too much car to jump straight into and get used to straight away. Maybe other people, better drivers than me, would have no trouble, but boy, it really frightened me at first. Like really? I was terrified to put my foot down because it just.
But once you get used to that power, you know what the car can do. Right. You drive it on a daily basis. You know what it can do and what it can't do. So you gotta respect the power.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And I think since we're here, we'll quickly open the trunk. Yeah, so there's a room for shopping there.
Yes.
You wouldn't want to put your child or your dog in there, but
yeah, you could go Costco shopping.
Yeah, yeah, it's a decent amount of room.
Yeah.
Yeah, insanity. Well, I really appreciate you bringing this beast out to drive with us today, and yeah, I'm enjoying driving American cars again.